Today we're sharing a food haul from the Hudson Valley area of New York. Some prices have gone down, some prices have gone up, and some have remained consistent. We're going to show you today exactly what we bought. We're also going to show you how to save money if you are trying to eat a bit healthier, some foods to swap out, and we're also going to be getting into the kitchen and making some really yummy food. Welcome, sweet friends, to the channel Frugal Money Saver. My name is Emmy, my husband's Paul. We're so happy you have joined us today. We have not done a food haul in a while, and I know a lot of you have been requesting it, so we figured let's show you real life. The majority of this food haul is from a store here in the Northeast called ShopRite. And we're picking up some really good loss leaders, and we're going to show you how we're eating a bit healthier. I mean, we've always been pretty whole food based, with the exception of bacon. Before y'all come on here yelling, you got bacon in your haul. Yes, we do, and we probably always will. So first of all, show you the front of our ShopRite flyer, just to give you an idea of some of the loss leaders in our area, and also things that we used to buy that we don't buy anymore. And now we're using that extra money for some better quality food. Take a look. Now, the trick that we have found is swapping out food that is not good for us to buy a higher quality food. Let me show you what I mean. Look at all these loss leaders. And there are so many, all different types of food. So what we do is before we go, we look and say, what is a good, healthy food? And you'll see what I'm talking about when I show you the food haul. Something like devil dogs. We don't eat those. Back in the day, we would have. So that would have been $3 right there. Cake mix and frosting. That's a great thing to have on hand. And usually I buy it and stock up on it. But honestly, we have some back there, and I don't like canned frosting anyway. So now that's another $3 we're not spending. Cereal, 3 boxes for $5. Now these are really good prices if you eat this type of food. But the only cereal I will eat, and once in a while, is Kashi. So this we used to buy, but don't anymore. So right here, this row right here is $11 worth of money that I used to spend on food like this that we don't anymore. Now we'll take that money and spend it on a higher quality food instead. So it almost evens out. So the money we used to spend on items like that now just go towards healthier foods. So I encourage you, when you bring your food haul home next time, see if there's anything that really you don't need, or maybe you're not using a lot of, or that you just don't even eat anymore. And swap it out, use that money to buy some good whole foods, and it's a win-win. So let's see where our money went on this food haul. So here's our food haul for the week. We are pretty stocked up on the basics. We're just picking up some extras, some loss leaders. There were some good sales this week. So the majority of the food is going to come from ShopRite, the cleaning supplies as well. And then we have something from Acme and a little bit from Stop and Shop as well. They're all right near each other. At ShopRite this week, with the digital coupon, they had Arm & Hammer, and this is the 25 loaves for $1.99. I still have some left from the last sale when it was this price, but I picked up 2 more.
Now, you have a tip for the laundry detergent, don't you?
Oh, yeah. You never use what the manufacturer calls for. See this line where they tell you to, can you see that line in there where they tell you to fill it up to? You use a quarter of that, a quarter of it, and you will have more than enough clean and suds. They also had the Palmolive antibacterial, We like this dish soap. I do not have a dishwasher. We wash dishes by hand. This is the 20-ounce bottle, $1.77. Great price. I got 2 of those. So this is just some cleaning supplies, but I add them into the grocery haul as well. I got a English cucumber. I think it was like $1. The Gala apples were 99 cents a pound, so I bought 4 of those. I got a Hass avocado for 99 cents. 4 beautiful lemons. They were gorgeous. They were on sale for 49 cents a piece. So that was a great price for fresh lemons. And the limes were 39 cents a piece. So I got 2 of those. We love to give a squeeze of the lime when we eat Southwestern food, tacos, things like that. I got a bag of organic carrots. I believe they were $1.99. I got 8 pounds of oranges for $5.99, which was great. But let me show you. This is the tip I tell you all the time to do with your bagged produce. Take a look. As you can see, this is an 8-pound bag of oranges. I weighed it. It is close to 9 pounds. Paul's weighing another bag, and you can see this one definitely weighs less than the other one. So always weigh them. And I always tell you to count how many are in a bag as well. This bag consists of giant oranges, so you're going to get less. The other bag are normal size oranges, so you're going to get more. So we got oranges that were a little bit smaller than some of those. That one bag I showed you, the oranges were huge. And there was only like 6, 7 oranges in the bag. This was a great deal. So I encourage you again, weigh that produce. If you're looking for smaller portions like we did with the oranges, we got a lot more oranges instead of those big giant ones in the bag. Count how many apples, weigh them. Weigh your cantaloupe. If all cantaloupes are $2, get them on the scale and weigh them. Get the biggest one. Get the most for your money. That's an easy, effortless tip. Now, before we get to the rest of the food haul, I've got to get dinner into the crock pot. So we're going to take a brief pause, and I'm going to show you what we're making for dinner and how this one piece of poultry is going to feed us for several meals. And wait till you see the second night's dinner. So we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. So I have a beautiful whole organic chicken that I got on clearance at Acme back in mid-February. We stuck it right in the freezer and we are going to be cooking this right now. We're going to cook the chicken in the crock pot. I'm going to make the whole chicken in the crock pot. I think I have showed you this before, but quick refresher. First thing I'm going to do is make a rub. We've got some of my rosemary that I dried last summer. Do y'all remember that video? That was so fun. It was the first time I had ever dried rosemary, and it's doing great. Look at that. And rosemary and chicken just go so well together. Some organic garlic powder. And you're going to just eyeball this, whatever you prefer. A little onion powder. And some ground peppercorns. And you add salt to taste. Now what I am going to do is I'm just going to crush that rosemary. That releases the fragrance. It releases the flavor. I'm just going to mix this all together. On the bottom of the crock pot, I just laid some whole carrots, celery, and onion. Because as this chicken cooks, it's going to make a delicious broth that we're going to use later on. I covered the chicken inside and out with the seasoning mix. And I just laid it on top of those vegetables. I even lifted the skin and put the seasoning on the breast. So this is going to be just a very flavorful chicken. I put it on high and I'm going to let it cook for about 4 to 5 hours. We'll check on it then. I am not adding any liquid to this. So we'll see you back here in a couple of hours. So the chicken is in there cooking. What a meal we're going to have tonight. You could have even thrown potatoes in, which I'm sorry I didn't do, but I think that would be fabulous as well. So that's cooking, and we'll revisit it in a little while. But right now, we're going to get back to the food haul. I usually make my own hummus, but we just haven't had time to do it this week. So I picked up some Cedar's Organic Hummus. That stuff is delicious. The Galbani Fresh Mozzarella, this is the fresh one, was $2.99 for a pound. I got one of those. The Bowl and Basket Chunk Cheese was 3 for $4. 8 ounces a package, so you get a pound and a half for $4. I thought that was such a great deal. We got those. Jimmy Dean bacon. We do eat bacon. At $2.99. And don't forget this tip. Always check the back of the bacon for the best looking slices with the most meat in them. So we got 4 of these. We're going to put them right into the freezer. Hellmann's squeeze bottle of mayonnaise was $1.99. What we do with this is I put this in the pantry, and when we go down to the little house in South Carolina, I take it with us because we make sandwiches on the road and when we're down there, and just so convenient. And for $1.99, great price. Butter was $2.50 a pound, the Bowl and Basket. I got 1 salted and 1 unsalted. So $2.50 each. Classic pickles were on sale for $1.99, and we love the sweet heat, so we got that. The organic chicken breasts were $5.99 a pound, and then ShopRite gave me a digital. It was like a personal perk of $1.50 off this package. I know some of you may say that is a crazy price, but I am telling you, compared to the store brand that are so big and thick, and I get a headache every time I eat them. Honestly, these are so worth it. And then for myself, I also get the uncured bacon. I get this at Stop and Shop, and it just has like no nitrates or anything like that, no preservatives. So that's just good for me. We got a half a gallon of the grass-fed milk. We do use whole milk. We don't drink milk. The only thing we do with milk is put it in our tea and coffee, and if we need to cook with it, mashed potatoes, things like that. And then this came from Acme. This is 30 count eggs, and they were $3.99 for 30 count. That is such an amazing deal. They're good till April 8th. We have Easter coming up and Palm Sunday. Just a great deal. This was from Acme. And then we have our favorite. I always tell you, keep the pizza in the freezer for those days. And the Tree Tavern, which is our favorite because it is got some really clean ingredients. I've showed you this before. These were $6.99 a piece, and then they also gave me $1.50 off as a personal perk, again, from ShopRite. So this is what we got for approximately $83. Right away, Paul took apart the 2 chicken breasts, and he vacuum sealed both of them because they're pretty nice size. So we split one when we eat it. He put organic on it, but we don't eat any other kind now, honestly. This chicken just has such a different flavor. I don't get any headaches or upset stomach with this. You can really taste the difference. This was a great score for us. We'll freeze it and we'll have it soon. There's my bread this week. Isn't she pretty? This is my Raya. Look at that. So after we get home from the food store and start putting our groceries away, Paul will vacuum seal anything that needs to be vacuum sealed right away, exactly like he did with the chicken breast. Now, there is only Paul and I here at home. We're probably not going to go food shopping again for another week and a half or 2 weeks, because we have lettuce, we have meat in the freezer. We will probably buy more milk, something like that. But our food hauls are not huge. And the reason that is because we want to really cut down on food waste, especially with fruits and vegetables. I've learned to buy a lot less. And we do keep a stocked pantry. So these were just fill-ins of things that were a good price and are loss leaders. And we encourage you to shop those loss leaders every week, especially if you have stores close to each other. All right, now let's get back to our dinner and see what's cooking. This cooked for about 4.5 hours on high, and it looks gorgeous. Look at how much broth we have. When I lift the chicken out, I'll show you. We're gonna make our first meal with this. I just removed this from the crock pot and it literally just fell apart. This meat is gonna be so tender and juicy. Every crock pot is different, so adjust accordingly. The internal temperature's got to be at least 165. Look at the broth in here. We did not add any liquid, as you saw. So beautiful. And we'll take the carrots out and we'll have those with dinner. I am going to make a delicious gravy with some of this right now. We're going to make a quick gravy. I melted about a tablespoon of butter, and now I'm adding a tablespoon of flour. We're just gonna cook this down just for a minute to make a nice roux. And just cook it for like a minute. Keep stirring it over medium-low heat. What I did was I took the broth from the bottom of the pan, and you can see the fat rose to the top. This is a great little kitchen tool, this decanter. It separates the fat from the delicious broth underneath. And I am just going to start to add some of that broth to our roux. Okay, we're going to need a little more. And this is going to make a delicious gravy. And you can keep adding broth so it's not too thick. There's so much flavor in the broth that you don't even have to season it. I mean, you can taste it and see if you do, but usually this is so flavorful. Just cook it for a couple of minutes. So we're eating those delicious carrots that roasted with the chicken. We made some delicious Carolina Gold rice, our favorite. And now we're gonna just ladle that gravy over everything. How easy was that? We'll be back tomorrow with more. So the chicken's cooled slightly. We put what we didn't eat in here, and you can see how much we have left. So we're gonna put it in the refrigerator straight away. This is how much broth came out of the bottom of the crock pot. Just decant that until you get to the grease, and this, I don't want that. Some people will put that in. I think it's got enough already. You can see it's floating on top. But this is gonna go into the refrigerator as well. There is so much flavor packed into this. Remember this recipe for summertime too, because in the summer we sometimes forget that we can have delicious meals like this. This would make great chicken salad, but wait till you see what we're going to do with it tomorrow. Dinner was absolutely delicious. This is one of the best ways to make a whole chicken. And the broth that comes out of it, the gravy, I think was like the best part of the whole meal. I was putting it on the rice and the chicken and the carrot. It was just so good. Now for tonight's dinner. This is a brand new recipe we have never tried, but it sounded really good. What we're going to do is we're going to take some of that chicken and we are going to turn them into buffalo chicken patties and make a mouth-watering sandwich with them. So let's turn this camera around and get into the kitchen. It's dinner time, and we're using about 1.5 cups of the cooked chicken that we cooked in the crock pot yesterday. We still have an entire half of the chicken left. I'm going to give you some more ideas what to do with this in a minute. We are going to be making some chicken burgers with cooked chicken meat. This is about 1.5 cups of the cooked chicken, and this chicken has to be cooked for this recipe. Bones removed, 1 egg, about 1/4 cup of grated cheese, got about 1/4 cup of panko breadcrumbs, a dollop of mayonnaise, and we're going to make this buffalo style. So we're going to add a little bit of this red hot Frank's sauce. Even though the chicken is seasoned, we're still going to add a little garlic powder and onion powder to taste. And we're going to use our food processor to combine it all together. Always make sure your processor is unplugged while you're putting food in it. That just terrifies me. I see people do this with it plugged in. Don't do that. I've got the cooked chicken. We're going to add the breadcrumbs, 1 egg, grated cheese, little bit of mayo. We're going to add a little garlic powder and a little onion powder, and then a dash of Frank's Red Hot or whatever kind of hot sauce you like. I am not going to make this too spicy, if that's okay, Paul. You can put extra on.
Oh, yeah, no. That's
okay,
fine.
so I'm just going to add a couple of shakes of that. We're going to get our cover on low. We're going to mix this all together. Make sure you unplug it again before you reach in. So here's our mixture. You don't want to process it too much. You want it to be able to hold its shape. So I put a piece of parchment paper down just so they wouldn't stick. I'm going to make a nice size burger here. They're not sticking to my hands, which is really good news. And they're holding together really nicely. I put a thin layer of olive oil on the bottom of this fry pan and heated it over medium heat. And now I'm very carefully going to lay our little burgers right in there. Be careful. We are going to let these cook about 4 minutes aside over medium heat until they're cooked through and crispy. The timer just went off. Gently going to flip these. Oh man, that's perfect. If you're enjoying this video, would you do me a favor? Would you please take a minute, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and just come on in and be a part of our family. That thumbs up helps us so much here on YouTube. I'm going to cook them another 4 minutes on this side. Keep an eye on them though. We've assembled our chicken burger so far. We have got a bun. We have got lettuce. We have got, remember that sliced mozzarella? There it is. This is going to go right on top. And this one's Paul's. He wants a little drizzle of blue cheese dressing on it, which is, I think, a great idea to go with that hot sauce. Do you want some more hot sauce on it too?
I'll taste it first.
What a perfect, easy, delicious sandwich to make with leftover chicken. You could be so adventurous with this, but I think this, just the way it is going to be amazing. Now, we're still going to get another 2 meals off of this. We have a full breast here, a leg, a thigh. Paul makes something called cha-ching chicken salad, which is chicken salad, basic chicken salad, but he adds pickle relish to it, and then he takes a roll and he makes garlic bread out of it. He broils it and then adds cheese on top. So that's another delicious recipe you can use. And I also make what some of you call shepherd's pie, some of you call cottage pie, where I'll take the breast and I will chop that up, lay that in a casserole with some corn on top, mashed potatoes, cheese, and that bakes in the oven. Very good economical meal. So you have seen 2 recipes from that chicken, and we will probably get 2 more and then take the bones and put them in the freezer to make bone broth once we have a nice full bag. Buying a whole chicken is such an economical way to eat. Be creative, be imaginative. And those sandwiches were outstanding. And you can mix them up any way you want. Change out the cheese. Change the cheese you put into them. Add sauteed onions and mushrooms. It's endless. It's just a different spin on a regular old hamburger, but boy, was it good. We thank you so much for sharing this time with us today. Question of the day. What is something that you have swapped out recently as far as food, as far as your grocery supplies, and substituted it, or maybe not substituted it for anything, but just literally cut it out of your food budget, whether it be because the price is too high, you're just not eating that way anymore, you're trying to eat a bit healthier, share it with us down below, because it won't only encourage Paul and I, but our viewers as well. And we're always looking for new ideas. Again, thank you so much for being here. We ask you to be well. We ask you to be safe. And above all, we wish you blessings. Until our next video, may God greatly bless you.